Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, is supported by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with code CLUB at 22. Your balls will thank you. Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction to Annan Athletic now Rangers 3 here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. A much changed Rangers team breezed past Annan in pretty wild conditions in Dumfries and Galloway. I am your host Scott Carney and I'm joined by Ryan Haber. Ryan, how are you?
Sober. How are you?
I'm sober. I'm sober. I'm actually having a few beers tonight. Due to being off tomorrow's working today, but yeah, had a few and sat and watched the Rangers there with a wee Chinese takeaway. It's very strange, mate, watching a Rangers game when you just kind of know that everything's going to be okay.
Aye, but it's a nice place to be after where we've been the past maybe 10 years, only because it's the old scar tissue still there when you start watching one of those games and you think, God, surely there's not a chance of an upset here, but it was never in doubt today. Those days are by, I'm sure, and I think we were comfortable today.
Very comfortable. So we'll jump into it, mate. Before I do, you can join the channel from the 99p. You'll be supporting us, helping us grow by becoming a Club at 22 supporter. You can join just below this podcast, and if you subscribing's not your thing, then you can also buy the podcast a coffee. There's also a link below that for this. And a thank you to your mom, Pommy, who bought the podcast a coffee today, which is superb. I laughed a wee bit when I seen that, mate, but that made my day. It really did. So, Ryan, we'll jump into the team. Obviously, very changed. McLaughlin, Zukowski, Sands, Helander, Barisic, Davis, Ramsey, Amad Diallo, Wright, Fashion Jr. and Roof. The bench was McCrory, Tavernier, Bassey, Simpson, Kamara, McCann, King, Lowry and Itten. So, your thoughts on the starting 11, mate? Look, I was one out, mate, from it. I had Lowry starting ahead of Wright, and spoiler alert, that probably should have been the right call. But, I mean, it's kind of what you expected, a fully changed squad.
Yeah, it's what I want, especially with this game on Thursday. It's exactly what I wanted to see, a completely changed team and some players getting their chance. I think that's the first time we've seen Jimmy Sands at centre-half. So that's obviously it's been made quite clear that he can play centre half or midfield. So he got his opportunity to give Goldson a rest. As you said, Wright kind of played the 10 role. I thought Lowry would play today. So a wee bit gutted that he didn't start, and I know we'll move on to the game, but I think he looked lively, a bit more lively than Wright did when he came on. But in terms of the lineup, I was happy that we'd completely changed it and given all our big hitters, if you want to say, a rest with the lead up to Thursday.
Definitely. So into the game itself, mate, I'm not really we won't sit and analyse every little thing that happened. Helander makes it 1-0. Good to see Big Phil back. And I thought Helander, for the amount of football that he's missed, looked particularly good. And before we go any further, the conditions were horrific. That park is a shocker. So there was a lot of... The ball was bouncing in places where you wouldn't expect it to bounce, kind of catching players out. But to see Big Phil back and to get a goal from a Ramsey corner, rather pleasing start.
Oh, aye. It's, Helander looked a sharper than I thought he would. And it was great to see him get a goal. It's great to see us get a goal from corner kicks, because I feel as if they're a rarity at the moment. But yeah, Helander looked quite sharp, but the conditions were really tough, especially in the first half. When we play on plastic pitches like that, I think the way we moved the ball about, I think we've got to commend the way the team moved the ball about in the first half, because it was very much pass and move, and they were really positive. And I think that's the way you've got to play on these plastic pitches. You can't really play the long ball or play down the wings. I think you've got to do that pass and move and try and move round about the box. They started well, Rangers, and Helander getting his goal was topped off as a good performance for him, and he'll be happy with how he played today.
Yeah, I think you will be as well. It's just good to see him back and looking quite fit. Obviously, Annan didn't do anything pretty much the entire of the first half, and the weather was shocking. The only thing worse than the weather was Stephen Craigan's commentary. And for those of you that had to suffer through Premier Sports tonight and listen to this guy talk, I'm sorry, my ears have literally just stopped bleeding. I'm actually shocked that I can still hear you, Ryan, because my goodness, the guy talks some amount of dross, man. Some of the stuff he came out with tonight was just unbelievable. It really is. And he's kind of getting himself in a mood where he thinks that this is actually going to be a competitive match. Like, calm down, mate. Honestly, he was an absolute joke, but I'm not going to give him much more airtime. Conditions really continue to get worse. Premier Sports, again, perfect viewing conditions, as you would expect. You could hardly see anything out the camera. The picture continued to break up, and it's not the first time it's happened with Premier Sports. I know the weather was particularly bad, but yeah. But we make it 2-0 not long after, mate, just after the 20th minute. A good goal from Kamal Roof, the way he controlled the ball on the edge of the box on the turn, and he finished with aplomb, mate, to be honest. However, just before that, Aaron Ramsey did have one just off. The one he'd sent just over the bar, which he probably should have done better with. But Kamal Roof's goal is a great finish.
Yeah, it's a brilliant finish, and it's his first touch that makes it. It's like a typical training drill for any strikers. They get the ball passed into them, and the first touch is to be the setup for the shot. It's pretty standard for any striker, but for him to do that it's brilliant to see. It shows Kemar Roof's class, and I think he needed that goal because I don't know if I've said it on the pod, but I've had the kind of feeling over the past maybe 3 or 4 weeks that Roof is very much drifting into a kind of squad player, don't know where he plays at the moment kind of thing, just because he's injured. He's had a few setbacks, but he's been a bit part player for the past few months, and I think he's a better player than that. So yeah, great for him to get his goal and stake his claim in the lineup for. Although I don't think he will start on Thursday, but he'll certainly stake his claim to play on Thursday, because that goal have done his confidence no harm.
Definitely. Fashion Junior then has one off the bar from a great ball into the box by Sikowski. I think his name's Sikowski. The commentator, I don't know who the other commentator is on Premier Sports, kept calling him Sikowski. Is W meant to be a V? Am I saying it wrong, or is he saying it wrong? Because I get very angry at him for saying it wrong when it might be me that's saying it wrong.
Nah, this is like these guys who call Barcelona Barcelona. I mean, no, it's Barcelona. We're Scottish, we're British. It's Barcelona. This guy's called Sikowski, and I won't have it any other way. No, that's Premier Sports for you. And if you're going to take any tips on how to pronounce things from somebody who's sitting next to and agreeing with somebody like Stephen Craigan, then you need to have a look at yourself. Yeah, Sikowski definitely for me, and he looks good. I like the look of him. He looks as if he's settled straight in. Liked him. I know it's only Annan, but I liked his performance. I thought he was good.
Yeah, we'll stick with him. Maybe we might as well. He's fast. He's a lot faster than I expected him to be, and he wasn't really scared to get stuck in. Look, a few of his crosses didn't come off today. The conditions were poor. The run of the ball was all over the place. I don't know if he's ever played on a plastic pitch before. I think there's one. I think there's a 4G1 at the training centre, Rangers training centre. I think there is one, and we use it for experiences like this. So he's probably trained on one, I would imagine. I imagine we trained on it on the lead up to this game. But I'll give him a bye, because to make a debut like that, going to a place like that with the weather the way it is, the pitch the way it is, I thought he was solid. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yeah, I think you can tell he's played a season. You can tell he's match sharp. He was on it. His passing was sharp. His movement was sharp. He looked as if he slotted in really well for us. You wouldn't have any concerns with him. I mean, touch wood, nothing happens to Tavi. You wouldn't have any concerns of him slotting in now because of that performance. And again, not to exercise the phrase, but that will have done his confidence no harm whatsoever as well, because new player into the club, and he very much went in the back door after Aaron Ramsey taking all the plaudits and all the limelight on the closing of the window. But that boy just came in the back door, and yeah, he looks solid and doesn't look as if we've any concerns at right back with him playing there.
I totally agree, mate. I was very impressed with him. And then Rangers make it 3. A goal from Sakala. Now, shot across for you, mate.
Oh, it's a shot all day. He's had a look up. He knows there's nobody in the box. He's just went, I'll just have this in the top bag there. It's definitely a shot. Never in a shot in a million years. Never a shot.
Imagine it was a shot, man. You've been talking about goal of the season material. It's an absolute peach. I think, again, I'm talking about the run of the ball, and I think it kind of catches him out the way the balls went. The way he's looking when you see the replay, he's not looking to shoot there, but I mean, what a finish. And I love that after it, he's got the cheek to do the Ronaldo celebration. Absolutely superb, though.
I panicked for a second. I thought he was going to do Alfie's celebration. I thought, right, first time you'll get away with that with Alfie doing the celebration. If you do that again, I reckon Alfie's got to box with you. No, it was really funny. And it's just, you know what Sakala's like? We've said this a few times. I don't know, there's just something so lovable about the guy. Like, when he scores a goal and it's the smiles and the happiness he brings to the team, you can see how popular he is with all the players. And a wee young fan ran on the pitch tonight, and I mean, he's a brand new player. So he's got a lot of fans, and even Roy Mackay, I think I texted the group chat, and Roy Mackay had tears going down his face because he's obviously known you've flicked that into the goal and then you do a Ronaldo celebration. It was great. It's just, he's such a lovable guy, and it was a brilliant bit of comedy for us as well.
It was really good. I think he's obviously ran back and like they went, did you shoot across? And like he's like, oh, I've shot, because he was laughing as well. But even Gio was laughing. I think Dave Voss was laughing too, and Mackay was in stitches. I think he had tears run down his face. Look, it was the most comfortable 3-0 at half time. Really, I don't think. I can't remember on the first. I think there was one shot Annan had that McLaughlin again really kind of right down his throat dealt with. Apart from that, look, nothing in it. And I don't want to be disrespectful to Annan, but this was just a glorified training match. It really was. And it's what you would expect. It's what I would expect even a much changed Rangers team to be. We'll jump into the second half, mate. I'll talk about Ramsey. Much more positive from him. Looked like he was giving his all, or as much as he possibly could, trying to keep things moving, really talking to the team, trying to make things happen. I mean, even when he came off on 60 minutes, mate, I'm not going to lie, I'm still concerned by how tired he looked.
It reminded me of the first time I played sevens when I hadn't played for a couple of years. That's he just looked so relieved to come off, and literally his cheeks were expanding as he was walking off. He was knackered, absolutely knackered. And yes, that is a concern of how unfit he is, but he will be under a programme and Rangers will be well aware of where he's at. So I have faith in this management team that they were aware of how far off the mark he is. He'll be under his own training programme, whether it's a lot of cardio work or he's going to drop into B team for games during the week or whatever, but he'll be under a different programme from the first team. I think he played well enough tonight. He had some nice touches, a nice game for him to get some minutes in his legs because it was Annan, because we were so in control. Let's not hit the panic button. Let's not start the negativity, which we love doing as Rangers fans. Let's just give Aaron. We're not desperate.
Why do you think Ali's not on tonight, mate?
Yes, I know. I do agree with him because I did say it as well. He is miles off the pace, but we're in a very privileged position in terms of midfield. We have a lot of numbers. Lundstrom is playing well. Jack is training this weekend. Kamara's there. We're fine for midfield, and Ramsey for me is a nice to have. Yes, we've paid a lot of money for him, but it's going to be a bonus if he gets up to the speed where we want him to be in the next month. So let's just see how he goes, and let's not start with negativity if that's the way I look at it. I'm still looking forward to seeing Ramsey in a Rangers shirt, and I know his time will come where he shines. I'm positive it will happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive that it will happen as well, mate. I think we get, as Rangers fans, as we do, we get sucked into thinking that everything's just going to happen overnight. It does take time. He's not played a lot of football. But you could see it even on that pitch, even in those conditions. You could see his passes, you could see his movement. He's very intelligent, and it will come. I have every faith it will come. I just hope it's not too much longer, because then it will seep into people thinking, why is he here? What did we sign him for? All the usual kind of the stuff that goes along with that. But I mean, as far as 60 minutes goes, he couldn't have done much more. And he was unlucky with his wee flick finish that he had as well, because that's a tight call for the linesman. He probably called it right. He probably is just off from the camera angle that we've seen it off. He probably is just off. But apart from that, he was good, and it's a good 60 minutes for him in these kind of conditions as well. It will hopefully help his fitness. At the same time, Hollander and Davis come off. Good to see Davis back as well. Again, getting the captain's armband tonight, as you would expect, but just slotted in like he'd never really left. I've always said that about Stephen Davis. He can be quite quiet, but then you realise that he's actually controlling the game. He's controlling things from midfield, which I think he pretty much did. And on came King, Simpson and Lowry. Now, I'll just talk about Lowry. Look, the second half was pretty much a non-event. It did become, as I said, very much glorified training. Really, there was nothing, not a real great deal in it. But from the moment that Lowry came on the park, he just excelled. I thought his touches, his drive, his willingness to get the ball and drive forward, I thought he was absolutely superb. And in comparison to the way Scott Wright was tonight, who again I thought didn't really take his opportunities the way that he should have, I think I would have started Lowry, because I think he showed more in the time that he was on than the 90 minutes that Scott Wright got. Am I being a bit harsh, mate, or would you go with that?
No, I don't think you're being too harsh. I think Scott Wright had a poor game. He was put in as number 10, which I think was probably a role that we've not seen before for Scott Wright. I don't think he probably expected to be put in that role. But Scott Wright's another player who's in an obscure place in the Rangers squad just now, because he's short of confidence, and he's been given his chance.
Is that your cat?
Yes, can't just knock the chair down.
It's all right, mate. People know we don't edit this podcast. Nudge, nudge.
Yes, no, we don't edit that at all. So I think I don't think we're expecting Scott Wright to play the number 10 role, but Lowry, for me, I don't know if you agree with this, because I know you're a Scott Wright fan. Lowry plays before Scott Wright for me just now, because I don't feel as if Scott Wright is offering much for that Rangers team going forward or in a defensive sense. I don't feel that he's offering much to the team just now, which is a shame, because he did look as if he had a bit of a potential for us.
I do agree, mate. I think he's getting too many opportunities now where he's not taking the opportunities. And tonight, a night like tonight, he should be shining against, again, no disrespect to Annan, but he should be running at them, causing all sorts of problems for them, and he didn't do it. Lowry, when he came on, was just an absolute breath of fresh air watching the boy. He's got no fear. He just wants to go. He wants to play. He wants to attack. He only knows one way, and it's forward. And his work rate as well, coming back sometimes to win the ball. It was really good. Really, really good from Lowry. I'm very, very impressed and very excited about him, and looking forward to seeing more of him. But Scott Wright has firmly worked his way into you're a squad player at best, because he's just not grasped it. For whatever reason, it's just not worked out for him. We also seen Charlie McCann and Cedric Itten coming on. Fashion Junior went off, and so did Diallo. I was a wee bit harsh on Diallo probably in the group chat, mate. Again, I flattered to deceive for me in that game. Again, it's probably a different pitch for him, a different environment for him. Probably never played in weather like that before. However, again, he was good in flashes, yes, but no real end product from him. But McCann, again, just come on and looked like I just want to run at this team.
Yeah, he looked a breath of fresh air when he came on, McCann. I was glad to see him get his debut, because I've heard a lot about him and I've not seen anything. I've not seen him before, but I've heard a lot about him, so I was glad to see him. And I'm hoping that's not the last time we see him. Diallo, yeah, flattered to deceive. Decision making wasn't great either. Possibly gets a bye. Again, I don't know if I'm being too kind. Possibly gets a bye again because of the conditions and type of game it was. I still want to see him at Ibrox. I think he looks like one of those players who will enjoy a big pitch like at Ibrox and in the crowd. So hopefully we do see him not too distant future. But yeah, he didn't have a great game. He didn't do much really, if I'm honest.
Nah, he didn't. So yeah, I mean, Itten comes on again, the whole trying too hard thing into that. No, in saying that, it's a stonewall penalty. He gets literally kicked right in the back of the leg in the middle of the box. Again, at that point of the game, it was so one-sided that I think a Rangers player could possibly have been fly kicked at neck height, mate, and we still wouldn't have got a penalty. The referee was just wanted to get out of there, pretty much like a lot of the players, I think, at this point. And yeah, Itten had a shot that was wild. I mean, absolutely wild, not even close. So again, not a great appearance from Cedric Itten. But the game just kind of peters out, mate. Not a great deal to report after that. So apart from one highlight was Stephen Craigan trying to add up how much added on time there could be. I think it was 4 + 2 + 1 = 10. So again, not really sure where he got that one from. So Ryan, well, I'll trouble you for your man of the match, mate, and then we'll get out here and enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, mate. So who's your man of the match tonight?
I'm giving it to the man for Zambia because I thought his energy was brilliant down the side. I know we petered out as a team in the second half, but I think his energy was great, and I'm going to give him that goal as well. I think he picked the top back out. I'm going to give him it. Fashion Sakala. He's getting it from me.
I'm going to give two man of the matches. I'm going to give it to Sikowski because I thought he looked really good and really positive, and it's a good debut to make in really tough conditions, a tough environment to do so. I'll give it to him, and I'll give it to Lowry when he came on as well because I just thought he looked immense. He really did. Just a driving force as soon as he got the ball, and his work rate and everything, his attitude. I really, really like this boy, and I'm hoping that he can kick on and possibly our next prospect, the way Nathan Patterson was. So I'll give it to Lowry and I'll give it to Sikowski because it's a solid debut from him. That'll do us, mate. Very short, as you would expect from us tonight. Not a great deal for us to go into. The most routine of wins, and we're into the next round of the Scottish Cup. Ryan, thank you very much, and thank your cat very much.
Yes, just going to go and pick this seat up that she's knocked down, so that's great. And I'll tell you about the rest once you stop recording. We play Borussia Dortmund on Thursday. Borussia Dortmund, I am buzzing for that, mate.
Absolutely, mate. We will be back with a Club Deck Corner on Tuesday to preview and to get the build-up started for the big tie in Germany on Thursday night, which we're all really, really looking forward to. An absolute glamour tie for us. From Annan to Dortmund, mate, honestly, Scottish football, you could not make it up. So as always, shameless plug for me, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos, give us a wee 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. And yeah, that'll do us. On to Thursday now, a massive game coming up. So we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and I'll speak to you all next time. Cheers, everybody.